How many of you felt like you went through the ringer after divorce and you're starting to question your own self-worth? Guess what? You're still a catch, and I'm going to show you some tools that actually help you recognize the value that you still have even today. So let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about recognizing the value that you still have after divorce. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Keanon Slade, and I am a life coach that helps good guys build a great life outside the United States. Part of that is recognizing your own value as a man, especially after divorce. And if you're trying to figure out, are you ready to start dating again? Are you valuable? Do you still have what it takes? Or maybe you're something better, you're something new. You maybe haven't even considered that point. You need to be able to see that for yourself. Now, I don't want you guys to miss a single thing, so I want you guys to stay to the very end, because I'm going to be giving you some tools to actually change those lenses so that you'll be able to see that, hey, maybe you are ready. Maybe you got what it takes. And also, I want you to click on my free ebook as a gift. It's a game changer, especially if you've been in toxic relationships before. You don't want to repeat those, because those will definitely hamper what I'm going to say today. So click on that, and that will actually help you on your journey. And so let's dive right into it. The first point is to take self-inventory. Now, the funny thing that happened to me is I was in IT. I was doing a lot of things for many years, had many success. And in my 20s, I felt like I was the bomb. I could do anything. I was invincible. Just 30s, I was still good. But near the end of the 30s, close to 40, I was tired, to be quite honest. And so my life transitioned. And unfortunately, because I was not in a healthy relationship, my value and what I brought to the table, my intellect, my wisdom, things like that, I left it all behind, because I was looking at, oh, they said I'm not good. They're always complaining. They were mad, and I couldn't make them happy. I was a people pleaser. I couldn't make them happy. I couldn't be the perfect husband. I couldn't be the perfect father. And so I started, my perspective started changing. And so now, after counseling, and I recommend, if you're watching this video and you think you're gonna skip counseling and get to this point, no, you should still watch the video. But honestly, I would recommend you need counseling, especially if you went through divorce. It is very traumatic to your confidence, to your ego, to your emotions, to a lot of different things. And it's just not something you just shrug off. And so the one thing after the counseling I had to do was a self-inventory. I had to realize, hey, yes, not only did I bring value into the workplace, I brought value into my friendships, I brought value into my family. There was a whole bunch of stuff that I did that people were like, wow, you're doing it all, and you're juggling. And I had taken it for granted just because I could do it. Those things that you're going to have to look at and say, what is the value? What things maybe you put down? You've had a lot of value in certain areas, maybe helping out the community, but because you were going through the divorce, you hands off. You were helping out at church, hands off. You started focusing on the divorce. But now that you've transitioned, or you're trying to transition, this is actually will help you transition, because it'll change your perspective as well. But to be able to get back to those things to bring value, because what a woman really wants is somebody who has a purpose. So if you really have a purpose, a heart of God to, let's say, do something in the community, or connect the nations, or travel abroad and connect the nations and integrate and things like that, a good woman is going to be attracted to that. And the right good woman, because there's a lot of good women, but they may not align for you. So that's a whole nother story. But if you're looking for the good woman who aligns with you, they're going to be attractive to a person with purpose, not a person who's, oh, I need you to complete me. That Jerry Maguire stuff is, you need to be on your purpose. She needs to be on her purpose. There is a connecting in that. And one thing that I want to say that I really didn't have written down, but it just came to me, make sure that as you're taking inventory, that you realize your identity is in Christ. So if you're a Christian, or if you're not a Christian, but the reality is, but your identity is in Christ. It's not in your success. It's not in your failures. If you don't fix your identity as you're taking inventory, then you're always going to be latching on to something, someone else, or promoting, oh, I got this car. I live in Costa Rica or Philippines or wherever. That's me. I got muscles. Whatever, you're not going to have the right value and the right thing. You need to have that in Christ. And that is going to be part of your true discovery of your self-inventory. I want to stop you real quick just to say something to my divorced men. If you guys are looking for something that will help you after you've been divorced, separated, heck, even dumped, and you're still looking to move abroad and you're trying to figure out how do you adjust and to deal with this, I want to have something special for you because honestly, going through that situation, I want to give you something a little bit different because your journey is different. And you can find that information in the link below, and let's get into the rest of the video. Number 2, the comparison trap. And this really rings true in this day and age where it's so easy to flip through social media, go through Instagram and see the guy who has all the women or see the marriage that has been going on for 25 years. You really don't know them. It's underneath the cover and you're really not getting a true comparison. It seems like no one else has problems but you, no one's going to divorce. If I look back at my friends who all got married and family that got married at the same time, now a lot of them are divorced, we're all in the same thing, but the ones that made it was like, how did they make it? Now, honestly, I do know the inside of some of those things, but in the beginning I used to compare and I'm like, no, they're together, but they're still having problems. But it's not a comparison. It's whether they're having problems or they figured it out, how to ride the journey. The thing is, you don't want to compare because comparison will always put yourself on a lower place. Whether you're winning or losing, you're comparing to another human. And so they're going to have ups, they're going to have downs, just like all humans. And you're like, oh, they're down, I'm up, yay. That should not bring you value. That should not bring you joy. If anything, if you're close to them, you should be helping to lift them up. And when you're down and they're up, and vice versa. But comparison is going to make you two enemies. If they're both comparing, I'm not going to let them know I'm hurting. And that's what men get into. We compare ourselves to other men that have it going on. And so when we're hurting, a lot of us don't go seek help because compared to the other guy, he was able to handle his divorce. He just moved on. Really, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And so you don't know. And so you don't want to start making enemies and that you don't actually even need, whether they're fictional enemies in your head or having conversations like, I'm better than you because, yeah, that's not going to help you either way. So no comparison. So number 3, boundaries, boundaries, and boundaries. And I gotta say boundaries are very important. So I'll say one, let's just say first boundary for your ex. You might be desperate, to like, I've seen on a lot of forums or had conversations with different people that, want to run back into their ex's arms, but the ex has moved on. Potentially had a boyfriend, gotten remarried or whatever, and they're just like, I want you. You need to actually have boundaries. Those boundaries are going to help you with your value because don't run to somebody who doesn't want you. You're not going to make them want you more by running behind them like a puppy dog. And again, this is at the stage that you are divorced. It's over. You've already went to counseling because that's not puppy dog. You went to counseling. You did the help. You did the stuff. Now the door is closed. Now that the door is closed, you should be working on moving forward. You want to make boundaries so that you're not sliding backwards. Second boundary is, again, with your value. Another thing that I'll get is people will be like, you got a divorce, you're free, go have sex with everybody. Getting entangled with other people is not going to help you. You need a boundary against that. That's actually going to be a quick high and a long-term low because you're going to feel less. You're going to be like, even if you have sex, and then you look at your ex-wife and she's, let's say, remarried in her long-term relationship and she's happy and you just had a one night, it's not gonna fit. I don't care how good the sex is, your long-term is like, wow, I got an hour worth of something, I don't care, whatever time you wanna put on it. I just want an hour. Whatever time you wanna put on it, and she's living years, she's had like comparison, boundaries, jumping into stuff. Yeah, you don't wanna do it. And then third, I would say the boundary is who you hang around with. A lot of times you'll get divorced and you'll have your friends pop up that are single and they'll be giving you bad advice, negative advice, and this could be men or women. And you don't want that either. Someone to be like, oh yeah, I seen her the other day, she looked trashy, da-da-da. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't, none of your business. You're separated now, you're divorced. Have your own boundaries so that when you create these boundaries, these healthy boundaries, and this takes counseling and conversations, and even I'm recommending to you some stuff now, is that you're surrounding yourself around positive people. You're surrounding yourself by people that are going to help you on your journey. Here's a question for you. What boundaries have you made that you will not compromise on ever again? So I want you guys to put that in the comment section below. So let's jump to the next one. Number 4, keep in mind the company that you keep. And what I mean by this is sometimes in life, you're going to have to change your circle of friends. If you're on the dating game and you're getting the same prospects, it's the same people, it's the same thing, and you want more in life, you're going to have to change your circle of friends. That may come in joining different groups, joining a different church, joining B groups, going to take a part of extracurricular activity like maybe traveling, world travelers or something. I'm just made up a name, so if that's a name, I don't know. And again, with people that are positive, business travelers, there's a business world travelers, business people that travel the world. If there's none of this, maybe I should make that. But who want to help the community? Long title. But it would put you in a circle of people that if you're looking for a partner that's aligning with your vision and those are your visions, then be in that type of company. If you're sticking in the same type of company, then you're going to get the same thing. So as you're trying to figure out your worth and things like that, you're going to realize that the more positive people that you hang out, the more your positivity comes out and your creativity comes out and all that stuff comes out. And the benefit is, again, once you're healed in counseling, you'll be ready and in the right place to meet somebody that could be a significant other. It's really about the company that you have and changing your circles that can actually help you on this journey. Number 5, reclaiming your confidence. And this comes in where maybe you had a hobby, and again, I use the example of you're helping out in a church, and so you're good at helping people, and you know that about yourself. When you show your value in that way to the community, to the public, you're helping the community out, you move to a different country like myself, and you've gotten to a organization, whether it be a church or the local community group, and you're helping out and you're confident in that. And that actually shows not just value to yourself, but it shows value to others. And so again, like I said, good women are normally attracted to somebody who has purpose, that where if they come in, that you're not just leaning on them like, oh, I love you, this is the only thing I'm thinking about. No, you're on a mission and they're on a mission, you're going side by side, you both have purpose. That's more of a healthy relationship. And so that lines up. And so what you want to do is to be able to reclaim your confidence. And then when you find the person that you're interested in, it's out of a point when you have confidence and you're actually ready to go, you're pursuing your purpose versus you're trying to pursue them out of pain. Or, my wife left me and that bad thing happened and let me be with, you so you can help do that. And the sex always fixes it for me. And that's not a long-term relationship. That might work. You might get a side story and you might have a quick relationship, but it's not going to be a standing relationship, or at least a good, healthy standing relationship. Before you guys check out, I want you guys to download the ebook because it's very valuable. It'll actually help you on your journey, especially if you have the tendency to get into toxic relationships or relationships where there's a lot of arguments, screaming, yelling, and stuff like that. You're like, I don't know why this drama's here. 7 signs you're with your narcissist actually may be able to help you. And honestly, if you read the book, I even say that some of these are not narcissistic signs, but they are still qualities of a bad relationship or bad behavior. So if you're seeing that thing, especially early on in your relationship, you might want to revisit who you are attracted to. My prayer for you guys today is that you will have value, remembering that your value is in Christ and that you can actually turn, ask for prayer, get some strength. Remember that you're not just created today. That's a plus and all that stuff, but you're created to live life in His will. And so even though when things get hard, you're not going to be alone, because that's another thing I need to say. We're not doing this alone, man. We try to do too much alone. But you're going to find your value in the right place and that you're wonderfully made. And until then, I will see you on the other side.